We are back. The word versatile, I guess, has been so often used in the entertainment business, it ceases to have any meaning, but it should apply to Carol Burnett. She does everything well. She can play it straight. She can be bodily funny, if there's such a word, and she also has a delightful children's book out called What I Want to Be When I Grow Up. Would you welcome one of America's best-loved performers, Miss Carol Burnett.
And the wayward wind.
And the wayward wind. I remember Bazoom.
See?
You
I had to remember it. I never had one.
You know, I was down in the basement. I was going through some stuff. I ran across a script. True. From the old Gary Moore show.
In my basement?
No, I wasn't in your basement. I was in my basement.
Oh, your basement.
When I want to run to your
come to
basement,
my
I will
basement
call
anytime.
and rummage.
Yes.
And I pulled out a copy of the Gary Moore show. I don't know what year it was, but you and I and Durwood were doing...
Gone with the Wind?
Doing Gone with the Wind was one sketch we did. You played Vivian Lee's part, and I was Rhett Butler. And I played it as Sullivan. Do you remember, for some reason? They wanted me to play it as Ed Sullivan. Don't ask me why.
We got a whole bunch of those tapes we're getting together of the old Gary Moore days, and I think that sketch may be in it, and if it is,
Give me a call, will you?
I will.
Because those are funny. You know, they hold up well.
Sure they do.
How are you?
I'm fine.
It's nice of you to be with us tonight.
Yes, I know.
What did you want to be with? Of course it is. A decent thing to do. It's kind of a mercy booking. What did you want to be when you were a little girl? Did you ever think about it? I can think back. I wanted to be a doctor.
You did?
I wanted to be a doctor. I used to go to hospitals and watch operations.
How'd they let you in?
I had some family friends, and when I was about 13 or 14, I would go to
You
hospitals.
saw all that gooey stuff going on?
I was fascinated. I didn't look at it that way,
Didn't
strangely
bother
enough.
you? Oh,
It didn't
wouldn't
really
it?
bother me. Well, it does, for a moment, and then you just kind of set
Yeah.
it aside.
I wanted to be Brenda Starr.
Girl reporter.
Yeah, anybody remember? Well, you know, with the red hair and the starry eyes and the stars on the bathroom shower curtain and all of that. And,
Brenda Starr.
Yeah, and she was in love with Basil St. John, who had a patch over his eye and a mysterious past. He was mad or something, so they couldn't get married in case she got pregnant.
Good thinking.
No, well, I figured that out. I was only 17 at the time. But that's what I wanted to be, yeah. Then I wanted to be Betty Grable.
Did you come from a conservative family? When I say conservative, I mean, were you naive as a young lady?
Terribly, very, extremely, wasn't I, Bert? We went to school together.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah, UCLA.
Well, she wasn't that naive.
I was so.
You believe what you want to believe, huh?
We went out a couple of times. That made me naive.
Also, one of America's most cruel comedians. Forgot to mention. I read an article once in one of the movie fan magazines, and all people who are in the entertainment business, and we realize that part of it comes with a territory of fans coming to see you. And because you're visible on that screen all the time, they take you as an old friend. Very often, people say hello on the street to me, and I don't realize it's just because they've seen me on television. I think it's somebody I should know.
Oh, sure.
And I have stopped and talked with people, and they say, "Hey, Johnny, how are you?" And I'll say, "Hey, it's wonderful to see you again." And I'm talking to an absolute complete stranger, but he doesn't tell me that.
Well,
And I say, "Hey, help me with a name." You know, like we met at a party, and the guy says, "Ralph Grebelman." And I go, "I don't remember where we've met." He said, "We never met. I didn't say we'd met. I just said..." And I'm sitting there holding a conversation, which is perfectly
But
normal.
you have to say hello because you might know the person.
Right.
You know, there's no, well, see, we live in Beverly Hills, and I'm not knocking it because I always wanted to live there too, besides being Brenda Starr. And so half of it came true. But people do walk in the house sometimes.
You've had him come right up.
Well, ring the doorbell, you know, but one time we were painting the living room, and so the painters were there, and they had the door open to air out the fumes. I walked right in. My stepdaughter was on the telephone in the kitchen, and it was a family. And she said, "May I help you?" And I said, "Carol home?" No. Well, we're from Ohio. Okay.
You always announce, and I did it, because I came out here when I was young and hitchhiked out from high school, and I did the same thing. There's something about announcing where you're from
You
Like
think,
this is
well,
going to strike a responsive
now,
chord.
had they been from Omaha, I might let them in. I don't
That's
know,
right.
you know. But, I mean, most people, they're very nice,
Yes.
you know, and so we have them over for dinner and the whole thing.
Very nice people.
Yeah, real nice. Make them clean up after. Okay, have them cook, do the whole thing.
What do you do if you really get a pest? How do you handle it? Have you
I start singing to them.
never thought of that?
No, the reason I say that, one time, I think in order to scare somebody off, if you're scared,
Right.
is to do the unexpected.
Like start to sing would probably do it.
Yeah, now, one time
Can you imagine if somebody put a gun on you and said, stick
Let
them
me
up?
tell you what happened to me.
Oh, I'm
Listen
sorry.
to this.
Certainly.
I got to tell you, since we brought this up, I was in New York. I lived there, and I was working. And I got home late one night and decided I wanted to get the Sunday papers. It was a Saturday night. And I walked up to Lexington and 57th, and it was a pretty well-lit street. And I had on this old raincoat, and I bought all the big Sunday papers, walking back to my apartment. And a man was coming towards me. It's about 1 o'clock in the morning, coming towards me, passed, and I heard him stop, and he turned around and he started following me. Now I'm going, oh God, what am I going to do? And the man is and a person can't even go buy a paper without some pervert following them around. So now I had to go down this dark street towards the end of the block where my building was, and I started to speed up, and he started to speed up, and I am terrified. He grabbed my arm from behind like this, and he said, "Let's go." And without a beat, I went, he went, shoo! That man took off.
That would do it.
That would do it.
That
Yeah.
would do
Where you
it.
go, be my love, and you start singing. And, you know,
You got to
start
set him off his rhythm a little bit.
shaking the blues away.
Fascinating rhythm, got you on the go. Fascinating rhythm.
You know, the guy.
I'm gonna try that next time if I ever
had
get-
a ding dong, and he took off. You know, that man's still running.
If I ever get that, and I hope I don't, if somebody ever pulls a gun on me, I hope I have enough savvy to say, Hollywood. Now, the guy's either got to think you've absolutely...
They expect you to go, oh, please don't hurt me, please don't, you know, and then, you know, but just let him have it. Be firm. Are you all right?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you. Here's why Sansabelt slacks perfect for all the people you are, from J-Mart, where slacks are only the beginning. We are back. We're talking about fans and not so fans. We asked if you had a couple of typical fan letters you'd bring along, because I save them. I save some of them.
There's some good ones.
I've quoted my one standard one that on the show too
What's
many
that?
times. Oh, I got a long involved letter. I love you. You're my favorite. You know, all this accolades and it says, would you please send me a free 8x10 autographed picture of you? And then P.S. it says, if it's not free, to hell with it. And it's always been my favorite. He gave me all of these nice things and then took it away.
Well, I've typed up some of them here, but that I couldn't read too well.
These are legitimate.
Oh, yeah, I just love them. Dear Carol Burnett, I watch your show all the time. I like it very much, and you are pretty, and I just know that you have a pretty home, and if you have kids, they're pretty too. And Carol, you make jokes, and my name is Sherry, and I'm in the 4th grade, you old pretty thing. Dear Carol Burnett, I don't know if I should tell you this or not, but every time you sing, my cat goes over the TV set and puts his paws over your mouth.
Those are the viewers that
Right, cat.
mean something.
Oh, no, that was, oh, this one I typed up, but I can describe it to you. It's a little girl, and she wrote, I have never missed one of your shows or your movies. I love everything you do. You're the funniest person alive. Your show is the greatest. I have pictures of you all over my room. I even have a life-size poster of you on my closet door. Every night before I go to bed, I say, good night, Carol. I love you. When I wake up, you're the first one I say good morning to. I thought it would be nice if you had a picture of me, so I'm enclosing a snapshot of me in front of my house, and on the back of the snapshot, swear to God, it said, to my favorite person of all time, Lucille Ball.
Oh.
And then this is a short one. I love it. My dear Carol Burnett, my daughter looks exactly like you. Please write and tell her there's hope.
You should save all those.
Oh,
That's
here's one.
that's
A little
book
girl
time.
drew something, and it's myself and Vicky there. And then it says Silly Carol, and I love this one. Carol streaking.
Kids are wonderful, you know, because
Divine.
talking to our writers the other day, and we have these letters that we get every year, which we're going to read, I think, Thursday on the show, that they send to the postmaster. And we get the New York City
To Christmas,
postmaster,
you mean,
yeah,
for Santa Claus?
Claus. And we read them every year, have been for 10 or 12 years, and they're wonderful because you could not make them up.
Oh, they're wonderful.
Kids come out and they say, "Dear Santa, here is my list," and they list them by catalog number. C56, Robot Action Joe, $9.95. Sears catalog number 2, Mattel Dippy Doll, $14.95, and they go right through and say that's it and shoot it off to Santa.
What'd you want to be when you
Well,
grew
a doctor
up?
I mentioned
A
first. Then I
doctor.
want to be a psychiatrist. And in a way, I guess, turned out that way.
Yeah, I think
Because I'm here every night talking to, you know. Well, you've got that again, huh? Don't
Got
do
it
that.
before, got it again.
What kind of sketches do you like to play most? You do everything. You play straight. You play. Do you like knockabout stuff? Because
I do, but I'm growing up.
you think now that
Yes,
the
I'm getting mature.
quite.
Yes, I love doing movie takeoffs. That I adore, and I also now I'm very into a sketch that we do occasionally on our show, The Family, The Southern Family.
Oh, yes.
And that I adore doing because it's just this side of reality. I think if we played it down a little bit, it would be very Tennessee Williams at times.
Yeah, when you're doing satire, sometimes you get so close it hurts a little bit.
Yeah.
Because everybody recognizes things like
And
that.
I love those characters, and I think Vicky doing the mother is incredible.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you got such good people around
Yeah,
here. You got Tim back, and you got Harvey.
Oh,
And, that makes it kind of nice. I got a drunken announcer and a horn
they
player
have
I'm not
their
too
own
sure of, you know, to help me out along the rocky shoals. What you? You have to leave. You can't stay out here. Is that true?
right, yeah.
Is that what you were saying? Television cues have
Freddie
always,
and
you
I
know.
have a date.
First down, Green Bay.
Yeah.
Right. And I thank you, really.
I thank
There's
you.
I
Give
saw
your
the ad
bride
for
my
your book
love.
today. It's
Thank you.
called
The
What I
publishers are gonna be
What I want to be
thrilled.
when I grow up.
Yes.
And thank you, love.
Thank you.
What?
Bye, Bert.
What? Me, Tarzan. Thank you, Carol. She is such a talented lady.
Yes.
Huh?
And truly has never changed. And I've
No, she
known her
hasn't.
for a long time.
You went to school with her, and I've known Carol from the days of the Gary Moore show, and she just does everything well. She's
That's
an
right.
intuitive, funny lady.
Yes.
All right, excuse me. Serious. Do you know where your coughs come from? Watch this from Vicks Formula 44.